Welcome to Skies of Arcadia Part 19. This begins the Yafutoma arc, but to start, we're currently in the Dark Rifts. Or, we're not yet, but here we go.
Vice, don't go...
Just don't... Hurricane.
Just as a brick wall.
So this is actually a first for this particular game. This is what's considered a ship-based dungeon. You don't go as a person, you just fly around this area and it has dungeon effects. There's treasure, there's different paths. It's very interesting. I like it.
That's pretty cool.
And it's super creepy too. You'll notice these ships on the horizon with glowing lights on them. Those count as treasure chests. So if you just mash A when you're near them or crash into them, you get stuff.
We got moss, yes! There was no other way to get the moss.
It wasn't even armor, you just picked it up and threw it on yourself.
I look cute. This area has a lot of missable chests, because unlike you, but just kind of being a person, there's a lot of X and Y axis searching in this area. There's a lot of ups and downs, so... And plus, if you notice, the camera's hard locked to the back of the ship, so it's hard to get a good view. You just have to play around with things.
I see we have to fight the ship.
I thought your ship just exploded.
That's what I do for crashing all the time. Most enemies here they're pretty repeated, not too difficult. Usually there's a lot of them, and they're unique to this area. The only one that will probably give you a bit of trouble are these slimes, which if anything, like the last time we saw the slimes, they have this bad issue of casting death spells on you. You never would suspect a slime to be the murderous spawn of Satan, so you just die. So if you see them, avoid them, or just kill them quickly, or have your shield up to be able to protect against it.
What?
Oh yeah, I didn't tell you that I transformed the cupel into a pan.
The cupel pan? Okay.
The cupel pan. But otherwise, these guys aren't too much trouble. They have a way of dragging fights out. But it is worth fighting. There's some unique items you can only get within the Dark Rift. Ears!
No, it didn't!
They really wanted to.
Just give Enrique tinnitus, that's it.
Just see bleeding eardrums, like, I'm fine. I can still hear. I love the poison thing, because it just seems like you just explode. Poison.
Man, it would be great if we had, like, other crewmates to help or something.
Well, no, they're all on the ship, so... The part you at least missed on the last one was that we actually spent some time flying around picking up crewmates. We're going to be getting some more in these next couple of episodes as well. A Rain of Swords, really good clearing effect. You can't cast it as quick as any of Aika's versions, but they usually do considerable more damage.
We won! We won!
Also, we're getting close to that save file we've been avoiding.
Did we pick up a janitor?
Yes, did you forget that we picked up Marco? He's currently our janitor at the moment.
Well, why couldn't he fight with the mop?
He fights with his well, I can't explain it, it's just too disgusting, but he fights with that.
Okay.
You'll see. This part is interesting because you saw that big portal in front of us, but there's also a big portal through this door. You want to be careful, though, because there are some hidden treasures here. If you fly all the way straight up, and I know you can't see it, if you just keep going, there's a ship right there, and it contains a sword. A decent little sword for Vice, although it won't be one he'll be using for long. But it also has a portal leading to another dimension. If you go through the portal that was straight in front of you, it'll actually just put you right back to where you started, just on a loop. You find out the hard way the first time. You just go through it like 5 times going like, wait a minute, this looks familiar. But this area is a bit of a maze. I like it though. I like the creepy factor of it and the strangeness. And the visuals. Again, for a game of this age, it does have some really cool visuals going on. Also, there's some unique discoveries you can only find in the Dark Rift. Me, I'm just like, I forgot where it was, so I'm searching for it right now. I know it's in this room.
Just descending down the exploding rainbow.
I was kind of hoping there was like a giant rainbow monster.
I gotta say, I would be pretty impressed with this if I was a kid playing this.
Well, I mean, especially considering playing in the early 2000s, like this was definitely, when I first saw it, it was amazing, but also I got lost for a long time in here.
Yeah, like I really like the concept.
As you notice, there's 4 portals in here.
Yes, this was gorgeous an hour ago.
Yeah, basically. Well, the same thing, if you listen, like, I like how the music has this kind of off tone, and it almost sounds like sometimes it gets played in reverse. Like, it's a zone of, like, no sound, no nothing. And a black moonstone in here.
And the trumpets echo throughout the tunnel.
They should have done reversals like...
Make it stop!
So, if you see, there's 2 portals right here. Both of them lead to progress. Unfortunately, the one that's flashing red leads to bad progress, and the one that's normal one leads to good progress. But there's also going to be the one portal we came through, which looks very unfamiliar to you, and one next to it. You'll be wanting to go through that one first. What helps a lot is to adjust your ship to where you can see all 4 portals, because there's the other 2. And what you first want to do, I just do this trick to kind of give myself some cohesion to where I am, is I back all the way to the wall where I can see all of them, and then you go to the one on the far right first. This one leads to a dead end, but there's a number of things we'll want to pick up in this dead end, some treasures and such. And I skipped most of the fights in this area because that first fight you saw pretty much covered it. And the weird thing is I never ran into a single slime, which I thought was unusual, because I remember every time I played this that those things would be a pain in the ass. If you notice, there are a number of ships here, but only one of them is glowing with an orange light. The rest of them are glowing with a yellow light. That's because that orange ship is a unique one.
Is it like a quest item?
Sorta. I remember I'm mentioning something specific about this area on the last one, but you'll see what makes this one special. Also, before you go to this part, in reference to that area, you'll have wanted to pick up Polly on your crew before you went into the Dark Rift. Which, luckily, I did. If you remember Polly, she was the woman that worked at that tavern on Sailor Island. As you can see, the camera makes this a little hard to see what you're doing.
It's kind of hard to remember sometimes, but that is a huge ship that you're flying.
Yeah, and those ships are even bigger.
Once you remember that, kind of puts into perspective the scale of this place.
Vice, you don't notice a book first, other than the man, first of all.
Let me read your diary. Oh, I'm right. But if you notice, there is a derelict man inside of a broken ship in the Dark Rift. Who knows how long he's actually been here? I dig the music in the Dark Rift, despite the fact that it seems like if you're listening to it, it'd be like the music of a psychopath.
Vice, you just read the diary! Don't do that!
It looks like he's vomiting up a hairball. But Ragged Old Man has no idea who he is, no idea what happened. He's been trapped here because of this strange, awful environment, which is not surprising. Like, this area, like, no ships pass through the Dark Rift. Because it's impossible. But this is why we need Polly. If we talk to him normally, he basically just goes, I don't remember who I am, get out. But if you have Polly, she actually recognizes this man as her long-lost husband, who went missing years ago. Which leads to even more dialogue and something interesting.
Blur effects. And a Caesar.
A Julius Caesar. His facial hair does look a little bit better up close. Before, it just looked like a big wad. We get heartwarming situations. Aww.
You need new pants.
You smell terrible. Like, you're a lot more woman than I saw last saw you, and you're just like, I'm gonna kill you.
Well, I wrote everything I wanted to say to you in this book before I went crazy.
Let me read it again. So now that Robinson has figured out who he is, he actually will now join our crew as a new sailor.
I do hope after a shave and a wash.
Nope. We bring in derelict hobo.
Yeah.
As quote-unquote sailor.
Yeah, Vice would invite a hobo to the ship.
And immediately I went, another sailor? Marco's a sailor as well, and I can only have one on my crew. Which one do we get rid of? Fuck you, Marco. So if you don't notice, if we highlight certain areas, they do get... If you'll see, if we highlight, they'll show what these guys personally do. I like Robinson's ability better either way. So I'm making him the active crew, and then Marco on standby.
I misread that as he seduces the action points.
You!
I mean, look at that beard. And a moon bear.
Well, right now I'm trying to get as many moonberries as I can, because I have one more move to teach Vice.
Can we feed moonberries to the ship?
To have it learn gigantic, like, triple lasers and shit.
Yeah.
That'd be so ridiculous. So now that we got everything on this side, we can actually go back through it.
There's Satan's anus.
Welcome to my anus.
You might find it heinous.
But yes, you're right. The scale alone just dictates. I mean, this ship looks incredibly small to this area. This is why ships easily get destroyed in this place.
Well, it just makes you wonder, where the hell did all this come from?
I imagine, I mean, the way they kind of treat it is like this parting area of just these crosswinds and things like that. I'm sure there's places in the sky where even, like, the greatest planes can't even fly through. They're like this. You probably won't find any treasure, but, you know. Plus, I think it's treated kind of like the Bermuda Triangle. This mysterious thing that people are afraid to pass through.
Girls on that side.
All right, let's start the 1950s dance.
Girls on that side, Vice runs to the other side.
So that's how you deal with fights quickly. Land it.
And I helped, says Enrique.
And I watched.
Ma.
Fina, you and the victory screens, it'll always make me angry.
If you want advice of the tricks of the trade, that is what you want to do, is Lambda Burst, and then just beating up the rest of the nerds. That ends fights in like 15 seconds? So as I mentioned, you don't want to run away from fights, no matter how weak they are.
Oh right, it affects the rank.
It affects how people view you, which there's a number of effects on it. It affects dialogue that you get from people, but also you can't pick up certain crewmates unless your coolness rating is high enough.
Oh, you're underneath something. I thought that ship was just flying upside down.
You know, I originally thought you weren't all that cool, but then I saw you pick up Hobo Guy, and then I knew.
You're not cool. After that, it was confirmed. I like this, it almost looks like the Dark Rift is sucking light into it, and it's turned into this, like, form around it. It's interesting. It's also a tunnel that leads up to another ship, and an encounter.
And another one.
Specifically, there's a fight on this ship. As you might have guessed, it's another zivlin bane.
I knew it, yep.
That just tells you how tough the Banes are, because they're, even in like the most remote areas where you don't expect to find humans, you can still find them.
You should have a big beard.
Be just as crazy.
Tattered clothes.
This fight is going to be very similar to any other Zivlin Bane fight, but as they progress, the Banes do become stronger, so their burst attack does way more damage, they have way more HP, but it's a pretty common fighting style for this one. You want to nail him with as many Cutlass Furies as you can until he goes down. The problem with the ones as they go further is it seems like they spam burst way more than they do in other forms.
I thought he just slapped himself.
He hits himself with a pan. This is how it's done. Some of this shit I'm saving for later. And I do have way too many items. It makes the box a little congested.
You know, since we're in a various crazy black tunnel thing, can't we just throw him off the ship?
Just have him float through space forever. Look at you!
That's not dignified. What if people find out? Oh yeah, push.
Then he gets out there, just like Vice the asshole. Oh, come on, you weren't even in there.
We just knew. We had a hobo asshole vibe from you.
We saw your uncool aura from here.
It's Marco that told everyone. Come on!
No, they just couldn't understand a word he said, but they just assumed.
He's just jealous that he's not lead sailor anymore.
I thought you said lead singer.
Well, that too. I mean, he was in like the trunk for a good while, so for all I know.
I'm sad to say, but that band would sound a lot like a Tom Waits album. Yeah, right now he's beating me up pretty good.
Nah, I think you still have a 4-to-1 advantage on him.
It does feel like we're just gang stomping him into the earth.
Yeah, you're just beating up a nerd.
Then throwing his body overboard, and they're like, hey, we're heroic.
We saved the hope.
Just in case you haven't seen that before, this is Cutlass Fury.
Oh wow, nice.
I like when he lands. Get to see his boots. Really? Oh, I thought it was like by 1 HP.
It's not over, bleh.
Our next battle goes as well.
I love your energy. I hope this battle happens like a battle. We found an icicle seed. I don't know. And a chalice of blood.
Where did we get that?
Now we get to go into the Eldritch Maze Lodrin. Not Lodrin, what am I saying? I'm mixing up the souls here.
We just cut a hole into the zivlin and drained him into a cup.
Then threw him overboard. How cool is that?
What the hell are we gonna do with a chalice of blood, though?
Drink it.
Sell it.
Well, you know, besides that.
Drink it again.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, this boss fight is the epitome of beat up the nerd. Outside of maybe that one where we beat up that kid, but, you know. This is one where we beat up this version of the nerd on a ship. Do you know the password, Ocean? Answer me these riddles 3, laser. Oh. So this asshole, on your first playthrough, can turn this fight into a simple fight or an extremely long fight for no reason. Not that he's hard, he has a thing about him that makes the fights a pain in the ass. If you notice, he's inside of one of those old Whirlpool things, and he has a habit of hiding in them, and no matter what shots you make when he's hiding, it does no damage.
Whoa.
The thing is, none of his attacks are particularly strong, especially compared to our ship. We're like, we can destroy anything we want. What are you trying to do?
I thought the move was eat ship.
I also like, instead of flying around in these dramatic things, it's basically a staring contest.
I do like how you turned around and give him a chance to fight you.
Don't bite the face, bite it here. Particularly for this part, you want to choose when to fire. You don't want to waste all your SP on firing at nothing. As you can see, you won't hit anything right there. The only time I recommend firing is either when the Moonstone Cannon option comes up, or when you get the optimal C icon to show you when to fire, and just to throw all your damage on top of that. It is turned into the staring contest. It's ridiculous. Look at what I'm doing.
Oh yeah.
There's one of his other little attacks.
That was not a spray.
Sure it was. He just sprayed a bubble. Maybe the spray was in the bubble. So the way to handle this is just to hang out in his face, because he's not doing any damage to us, so why do we care? And particularly the Moonstone Cannon Fire thing does feel the most like beat up the nerd, because it just seeing the monster's reaction is just like, I feel bad for you.
Someone has to.
No one knows who I am. Also, just to be more of a dick. And the damage you've done, I'm just gonna heal now. You did good, buddy. You tried. You tried.
It was a good effort. Good effort.
Also, just gives you an idea how big this thing is. I mean, our ship is huge, but then we see this thing. It's about twice as long as our ship. Its head is about the size of our ship. I love how this one animates when you shoot him.
It still does look very stupid. Just goes in his mouth.
Please, no more.
What? Again?
All right, one.
You want more?
Ooh, you got me good. You got me good.
Oh no, they poisoned the ship.
You had me against the ropes, I should say.
It kind of looks like a rope.
The sky rope, if you will.
You did good. No, you did good. Don't hide. Aw, look, I'm sorry. You know?
Wait, if it hides and you fire, like, the beam anyway, how could it just avoid it? It's a circle!
I imagine because it's like a time and light situation where anything that goes through it just shows up somewhere random.
So if it's hiding and, like, they fire the laser, it can accidentally, like, fire back at them.
Exactly.
Or just pop in from the ceiling.
He's like, you know what, I don't like you shooting me in holes, so let's fight out in the open.
The top, there is no ceiling in the sky.
There isn't here, I guess.
You are right, Yoshi. That's not a poison spray. That's a fireball.
It looks more like a ball of electricity, like a Pokemon move or something.
Might as well just be mean. It is possible to kill him this turn if you're just super duper aggressive. Because at this point, like, cannon fire, if you do enough cannon fire, it does stupid amount of damage. Unless you miss. He's just laughing. Oh yeah.
Dog!
That's not fun. Then it bites me, and it hides.
Oof.
And then it comes out and swim again.
Well, to be fair, it's like its most effective thing.
2,000 damage at this point is just sad.
It did 3,000, and you did 6,000. Okay, never mind.
No, you're doing good. Don't run away. Come on. I feel like I'm chasing it for it to take his lunch money. I mean, no, you're a cool beast.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna go. Oh, it's turning away.
You're just gonna get tickled.
No.
Your tail is ready for evasion, but not the rest of you.
And I get more opportunities to fire on him, too. Honestly, at this point, just because you can see how much damage it's doing, like, even with the ones where it's red, I'm like, yeah, I'm not scared.
Oh no, 3,000 damage.
I think. Okay, if it were me, by that point, I would have just went in the hole and said fuck it, because it's not there anymore.
Oh, really? Oh, you did defend. Never mind.
Yeah, that one, normal damage would have been maybe 1,000 more. Ooh. Stop it!
I
This is basically the Stingray fight. Or basically any fight and punch out where you're like, no, you're trying. See, if I decided to fire my cannon again, he probably would have been dead. Like, if I fired on those evasion turns, we wouldn't have to worry about this part.
Look, when you upgrade to the Star Punch Cannon, then you can talk about Punch-Out.
Shoots a giant fist.
The Bop Laser.
As soon as it just hits, bleh.
It sounds like me. Nice.
Who? Ooh. I've taken more damage from enemies on foot.
This guy's design is kind of weird. It looks like a battle axe with tassels at the end.
Even Vice is like, great, he's back on the hole. Despite the fact that we could have flown through the hole and gotten out of here, but, you know.
Exactly. They just want to fire the cannon again, don't they?
I like how no matter what choice you make, you basically get the same result.
That's exactly why I'm just like, it doesn't matter. Like, there's no wrong answer here.
Angula.
I guess it's supposed to be, they're acting like it's some kind of deep sea fish, but it looks more like a twig covered in leaves. With a nerd mouth. Poison.
Man, I sure hope Drachma's having an easy time with this fight.
You just go zoom to a skeleton.
Still on the burning rowboat.
And then it cuts back to Vice. Man, my life's the worst.
It's a bit.
See, that's what happens when you shoot when he's not there. It just goes into that hole and does nothing. And he takes evasive action despite being evasive. God, this guy's a nerd. I want to give this twig thing a wedgie. But my mom thinks I'm cool. No, we're totally making progress. You can see how this fight might take a while, though, and it's a lot of just like, just die, like you're doing nothing.
I realize we're basically shoving it in and out of its locker.
Yep. Like, this fight would probably have been way more interesting if we were still flying the Little Jack or the Little Pink, but...
Or they at least put, like, 4 of these to fight you.
Yeah. So let's just beat up the nerd in the worst way possible.
By calling his mom a nerd?
How dare you use the laser blast?
Okay, you didn't even need to heal that time.
I just wanted to show off. I also like I'm like maybe like 100 feet away from him, like hold still now.
Moonstone cannon, fire!
You guys are dicks.
Nice thing about this is that we actually got torpedoes, and we want to equip those ASAP, actually.
We got torpedoes from the giant fish.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it is a nerd, so.
But yeah, we do want to equip those torpedoes immediately, because they're going to help with the next fight immensely. Also, you get to see the damage output of the Moonstone Cannons, 999.
Okay.
Also, got a new piece of armor here.
I mean, if it didn't take so long to charge up, why even have another weapon?
You'll see in this fight, like the only thing that sucks about the Moonstone Cannon is you only can fire at select moments. And you can see, like, my normal cannons are doing, like, 6,000 damage a shot. Stack that with, like, a good torpedo that might do a couple thousand. You could hit for, like, 10 to 12,000 in one go. But no, creepy fish, you did good, you did good. It goes through a portal, which makes it pop to the top of the thing. It keeps on going over and over again.
Or like, you know when you talk in front of a fan, like your voice is
So impossible, you say? I suppose I just impossibilized. Yay!
And in only a half hour. Wow.
Man, the rest of the Steelers are losers.
Hobo guy's crying.
So once we get to the other side, you pretty much want to make it past this little sky rift bar right here, avoid getting in stupid fights. And once we enter Yafutoma airspace here.
Oh, I just noticed your compass is different now that you're in the Delphinus.
Yep. Which makes sense.
And now we have to go into the light rift.
You have to fight an angel. Wow, what a ship! I don't know what that camera move was about, but...
Look at this blue wall.
Whoa.
Oh
Pirates!
no! Not the accordion ships!
Polka this.
Alright, just moonstone cannon them.
Yeah, just... Don't even act like this is a big deal. To be honest, I mean, come on.
So here's a weird thing to say. You know that monster we just fought that was supposed to be tough but wasn't? See this ship that's not tough looking? It's way tougher than the monster.
Don't use the word primitive when you're going up against Delphinus, okay?
What makes this fight particularly hard, and this one you kind of want to follow that same rules that you only want to fire on the ship when the C mark is there or when the moonstone cannon is, because it's very hard to hit. It also hits for a stupid amount of damage, and because of that, people often underestimate this ship and are killed by it. What makes the Blue Moonstone unique is it's the power of wind and water. In particular for Blue Moonstone ships is that they can fly at extremely high and extremely low altitudes, which our ship cannot. Plus this thing has magic cannons, so it does stupid damage.
I just like how that ship flies around and looks like it's going...
Well, at least the torpedoes hit.
Yeah, that's why you want the torpedo equipped. Because especially depending on what elevation the ship ends up flying to randomly, the torpedo's more likely to hit than your cannons.
I was gonna suggest we should just run into them because we're much bigger than them, but they can easily avoid the way.
How did they figure that out? See, it's already doing like 7 times more damage than that one monster did. This also proves why the sub-cannons, in my opinion, are completely useless. Torpedoes and main cannons all the way.
And they missed.
See, and also the torpedoes really make this fight a lot shorter, because this fight can take a while. Also, you want to remember that if you come off of a boss fight and are not expecting this, that means probably you're fighting the ship with like half your health, which means that you're not in a good situation. You're going to have a bad time.
Nah.
And it heals itself, if you didn't notice. But luckily, I have a ton of health packs.
I also like how the torpedo lets you set up for a critical you can get on a turn, otherwise you might be vulnerable.
Yep. Because you'll notice that there are more enemies are going to have opportunities where, okay, you can hit him for major damage, but the trade-off is that he's going to do major damage to you. This, in fact, if you notice, this this thing's 90% of the time using magic, and then maybe firing its main cannon every now and then, but it's been mainly using like magic shots and healing and things like that. And it has its own torpedoes too. If you don't understand the feel so far of what Yafutoma is supposed to be, and if you notice, I can also fire those torpedoes on the shot that I use the Moonstone Cannon on, so I can hit him with both.
Because you need to.
Okay, this isn't fair.
I believe this is just as fair as it needs to be. So, as soon as it disappears...
Look at what you did!
Just a little... Just an extra... we win.
Fuck you, Vice!
High five.
You and your magic bullshit cannon that can kill anything!
Fired.
You have no idea how right you are about killing everything, but oh, look at this ship. The Yin Yang. Ugh.
Horribly tacky.
Still waiting for the Cubal to fly into him and pop. So not only that do we have to fight a ship, now we also have a fight on the ship's hull. So at this point, they're going to give you an opportunity to heal, talk to people before you fight, but really, there's not much to do here. Oh. I love my flag. The toughest pirates of this sea.
I'm gonna crush him with my face.
Does the mascot have a name?
Delphinus.
I was gonna go with Dolphiny, but okay.
Dolphinus?
Yeah?
We could go that way to the crow's nest, but I'm like, I know what.
This is what it's like when Vice goes through a ship every single day.
Bias, you've owned this ship for a while now. You should know where everything is. Nah, I'm not hungry.
Gotta go back and stay. Nah, I don't want to do that.
I'm indecisive in the middle.
He says he's halfway up the stairs.
No one else is there, so he's just talking to himself.
Where's the janitor?
Hey, you're cleaning, Marco. Get back to work. Boo.
We want to sell you video games.
So if you can't get the feel of this particular area of the map, it's very Asian. They have their own version of a Great Wall, which is so pointless.
I was hoping Marco did such a shitty job of cleaning that they would just fall through the rust.
Or just slip as soon as they hit the ground. Good job, Marco. Fuck, falls over. So we're planning on throwing these guys overboard, too.
Whoa, Vice. Easy. I mean, I know I suggested that a while ago, but you were like in a super dark rift cannon thing.
Now everyone can see how cool you're not.
Cyclone thing.
So we end up fighting these twins. They're not particularly that strong, but they can accumulate damage pretty quick. You definitely want to keep some of the weaker people, at least defense-wise, like Fina, under check. But this one is just basically like any other kind of major multi-people boss fights, is you want to aim at one at a time and just take them out one each. They don't get any particular buffs by having only one left, so just kill them normally.
No, not Fina! Oh, okay, she'll be fine.
And they do this attack a lot.
Wow, Jesus.
Calm down, guys.
Does Enrique have like 2 defense?
Enrique doesn't have the best defense in the world. He's if on a character-wise, he's kind of that in-between of being a warrior and a mage. He's kind of got benefits of both.
Oh.
Basically, he doesn't have the hitting power of Vice, doesn't have the speed of Ica, doesn't have the magical ability of Fina, but is somewhere in the middle in all three.
The jack of all trades.
The jack of all trades character, basically.
Wait, I have an idea. It's against the cannon ray.
And the torpedoes.
Yeah, they could fire the torpedoes on their own ship. They'll be fine. They can just fix it up.
I try to get one of those martial arts to stand on top of the torpedo port and just shoot him into the air. For you to die!
I thought it would stop there.
Watch mine now. Mine's way cooler.
A whole bunch of different camera angles. At one point, he has a rose in his mouth.
No, that would definitely be Alfonso. Did someone say my name?
You have the chip.
But nah. No, Fina, you're doing good with your blocking strategy. See, they've been oddly enough, like they usually don't spam this every turn, but for whatever reason, they're doing it in this fight.
Wait, it came from behind and she fell to the side? Like, whatever.
It decided being in front of her too. That's the magic of martial arts.
I like that they're not doing your strategy of sticking to one person, because then they would actually kill someone.
Oh my god, okay.
And then you also get the Street Fighter move. Watch my Street Fighter move. I bet you haven't seen it before.
It's so good that you'll die. Well, that's all I got.
Stab wound, but I'm fine.
It'd been better if it did even more than a special move.
Sends him flying off the ship and they shoot the Moonstone cannon him in midair. And then the torpedo knocks him down.
Alright, Fina, here's your shiny moment. What are you gonna do?
I'm not gonna do jack shit. I'm gonna use a Pyron box.
Awesome.
Your staring power is so intense.
Let's try this.
She shrugs. You know what? I tried. He's damaged. Look. I did it.
Leave me alone, guys. God.
I'm so glad you stopped blocking. You know what? I'm so used to damage that was nothing.
I'm immune.
Oh, I wanted him to die right there.
What else can you do?
He's dead. Fuck it. I love you guys saying, "Oh no, I'm good, man."
Alright, let me just for my next. It honestly was, Vice.
It was pretty easy.
You still got more experience from that than from the snake thing.
Yes, I got enough moonberries now.
I'm pretty sure you died.
Westerners, we quit.
Their limbs just fall off.
We said we threw him overboard, so I meant it. Do they land on their crotches? Cross your legs, make it look cool.
Fire the Moonstone Kid!
Don't question me, I'm camping. Alright, now that we finished that up, next part we're gonna actually head to Yafutoma and do a little bit of exploring.
Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is follow the ship.
Into the sky, I guess?
They'll never get over our Great Wall.
We gotta make it past the Great Wall to get there. A wall in the sky, you know?
Great Wall of Skyna.
You're gonna see how dumb it is once we fly up to it, where it's just like, what is the point of this thing?
To keep the outsiders out of the...
It keeps the army walking on foot from...
We've kind of seen it through some of the fights. It looks like it's full of holes.
Well, it's a little rough. It's at the same time, when you have a dark rift and like basically things that no one can make it through on each side, then I guess that counts as a wall. So, but why build the Great Wall? I don't know. I feel like it was a part of the old empire when the land was more than sky, when they had that sort of stuff, and it just kind of stuck around despite there not being no ground. I don't know. They don't really explain it that thoroughly.
Because we wanted a wall.
Because it looks cool.
Look, just shut up, okay?
So then my earlier joke about you just flying into a brick wall, that could have happened.
It could have, but it won't, because you'll see how small this wall is.
What if that's how we get in? We just crash the ship through the wall. You don't need that.
I can't find a way around it. Moonstone Cannon, please.
Vice, no!
You're really abusing this privilege.
I gotta give you credit, but Moonstone Cannon.
I discuss all of my battle strategies with our diplomat, which is the dog.
And he just said pow, and I agreed.
Pow! Damn it, you're a loose cannon. I like it.
Loose cannon, I know what to do.
Let the cannons loose, I agree.
Loose stone cannon fire.
Oh, come on. You wouldn't spam a Moonstone Cannon if you had one.
I mean, yeah.
And torpedoes.
Yeah.
That's like the idea of this giant laser. Oh, thank God. We stand on our ground. And then the torpedo hitting like 5 minutes afterwards. Why?
Everyone's just on the ground, shriveled and gasping because they're all out of star points, but Vice just keeps firing.
Oh, God.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I've missed it.
On to yafutoma. And actually kind of cool, but I like it. I don't think... You'll see what I mean.
It's kind of... like, that's all I heard. It doesn't kind of suck all the time, I guess.
You'll find out. You'll find out.